Historically, over the history of this channel, I've been a defender of Patrick Williams in the sense that I think that the kid is not as bad as what some Bulls fans make him out to be. Well, on today's episode, we're going to do a deep dive into the analytics and impact of Patrick Williams. And yeah, I think it may be time, and I'm ready to call Patrick Williams a bust. We're going to talk about all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it. And I'm telling y'all what right now, if y'all want, this is going to be the closest y'all get to Petty Roosevelt in 2025 because I'm about to cook. And we're going to do through objective review of analytics. I want to be clear on that. This is not going to be one of those things where I'm just bitching and complaining like some Bulls fans are. We're going to take a look at the objective numbers, and we're going to let everybody come up with their own conclusion because as anybody who's been a fan of this channel for long enough knows, I have typically defended Patrick Williams in the sense that he is a guy that was drafted incorrectly at number 4, but still a productive NBA player. Well, most of the areas that Patrick Williams has been productive in is starting to take a considerable dip. I actually was doing some research in regards to Patrick Williams and his numbers, right? And in that, I was looking for, all right, how is Patrick Williams growing as a defender? That's the thing that I really was trying to focus on in my review of Patrick Williams because we know offensively, Patrick Williams has not been consistent. He has been very passive offensively. And defense is the thing that we typically look at when we look at the impact. Me and Winton Mahorn have actually been very vocal people on how good Patrick Williams has been defensively for the Chicago Bulls. And I'm telling you what, right now, the numbers that we're seeing that I'm about to go over objectively with you guys, it paints a very different picture. Now, I want to start off with the offense to get that out the way. One of the things that was most concerning in me initially doing a dive into this research is that Patrick Williams, over the course of his entire NBA career, that's 240 games, 240 games, averaging 27 minutes per game. You do the math. So this is not a small sample size. But over that time period, Patrick Williams has only finished with a positive plus minus 29% of the time. 29% of the time. Now, keep in mind, as much as the Bulls have lost over the years, they have still won more games since Patrick Williams has been here than lost games. Patrick Williams has missed some time, some considerable time, and you'd have to look at his exact win-loss record in that. But to finish in games for your career at only 29% of the time, you have a positive plus minus. I felt that was worth a deeper dive to go into those numbers, just seeing that alone. And in uncovering that, this is what I found. Typically, we have seen, and like I said, we've looked at Patrick Williams as being a very good defender. Patrick Williams' rookie year, he had a defensive rating of 111.7. League average defensive rating for a player is 110. So that meant he was slightly below average, but as a rookie, you looked at that and said, all right, this is a nice base to build things off of, right? And at any point in time, if anybody needs any more color on these analytics, please don't hesitate to stop. I'll get into the comments. I'll dive into it a little bit deeper. If you feel anything in this is unfair and non-objective, please call it out because we're trying to have a conversation here. He started off with a defensive rating in his rookie year of 111.7, which then went up to 114.9. Keep in mind, defensive rating, the lower number is the better number. He went up, which is actually going down to 114.9. All right, he only played 17 games that season. Maybe it was a bad sample size. He went back, and I forgot to mention he played 71 games his rookie year. So there you go, a nice sample size. He played 82 games his third year in the league and had a defensive rating of 112.6. Again, a player in his third year, pseudo second year because he missed so much time in his second year. Cool. It is what it is. Solid defensive rating. Last season, 43 games played, a defensive rating of 116.5. Okay. All right. A little bit concerning again that he went back up. More of a sample size. Still missed a lot of games that season. So far, in 27 games played for Patrick Williams, out of 36 games played by the Chicago Bulls, he has a defensive rating of 117. 117. 117. Now, we know defensive rating isn't everything, right? So let's actually look at Patrick Williams' individual defensive numbers. Now, these numbers that I'm about to throw out here now are numbers when Patrick Williams is guarding a player one-on-one, meaning this is not when he gets switched on a player and he doesn't have time to set up position and they shoot a shot real quick. It's not when he's in the vicinity of a player and this is when he is engaged, and this is one-on-one shots. This is where it gets really concerning after Patrick Williams. Of overall, the shots when Patrick Williams is guarding a player, they are hitting 55.4% of their shots. 55.4. That's an excellent rating. That's crazy, right? Crazy. Now, let's break that down even further to the type of shots. When Patrick Williams guards three-pointers, they are hitting the three-pointer at 43.9%. Where is that good at? Because I can't find it. When guarding two-pointers, they're hitting two-pointers on Patrick Williams at a rate of 62.3%. I'm sorry, is that good? It gets worse. There's more. When within less than 6 feet, so this means that rim protection, they are when defenders shoot the ball on Patrick Williams in one-on-one situations, they're hitting it at 72.6%. 72.6%. That would have somebody have the highest field goal shooting percentage in the league. In the league. Less than 10 feet, right? So that's 10 feet and in. They're shooting on Patrick Williams at 66.7%. 66.7%. Now, from 15 feet and more, 44.4%. We already talked about three-pointers are 43.9%. What does that mean? That's not good, my boy. That's not good numbers at all. But wait, there's more. Patrick Williams has gone from being upwards of in the 70th percentile as far as deflections, all the way down to the bottom 40% as far as deflections. His defensive rebounding is ranked in the 81st percentile, which is better than league average, but below league average for forwards. And by the way, even small forwards, for my people that say Patrick Williams should be a small forward, it's even below that. Patrick Williams ranks in the bottom 9th percentile in the league as far as rim defense. But he's guarding people at the rim nearly 70% of the time. So what does that mean? He is guarding rim, he's guarding bigs, he's guarding players that if you can get Patrick Williams closer to the rim, he becomes a less effective defender. Now, one of the things that are benefiting Patrick Williams is that he's in the 90th percentile as far as versatility. He's guarding some of the most varying positions of any player in the league. But again, the success is not there. I'm not even talking about offense, right? Because we already know Patrick Williams' impact is not going to be offense for this team. What does that all paint? What does that all paint? That is bad. That is bad. Is there a single number that I gave you? A single number that I gave you that has made anything right now make it seem like listen, it's concerning. For a player that has the reputation as a defender, for all his defensive analytics and stats to be that bad, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But that is not something right now that you can look at and you can try to paint as a positivity. But just for the nature of the well-roundedness of this conversation, let's look at the offense for Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams right now has a true shooting percentage of 54.5%. While that may sound okay, that actually puts him in the bottom 38th percentile in the league. What does that mean? 2/3 of the players in the NBA have a better true shooting percentage than Patrick Williams. 2/3 of the NBA. Concerning. The shot quality. And this is even more concerning. Patrick Williams actually takes good shots. He's rated at having a 79% shot quality percentage. What does that mean? He's taking good shots, but somehow he's not hitting those shots. Typically, what you would look at as good shots for most players, Patrick Williams can't even hit that at a decent rate. And oh, by the way, Patrick Williams seems to be a good three-point shooter. What's happened? His three-point attempt rate has actually gone down. He's in the bottom third of the league as far as three-point attempts. And his creation, listen, Patrick Williams don't create nothing. So he's in the bottom 42nd percentile in the league in that. He has a negative overall defensive EPM, has a negative offensive win shares. What is Patrick Williams doing good? That is concerning numbers. Again, I'm here to present the objective numbers. You guys can tell me how you feel about those objective numbers. It's really, really concerning. It's basically what it comes down to. Extremely concerning. What we're seeing from Patrick Williams, I tell you what, it makes it harder and harder to defend Patrick Williams every step of the way. And I handicapped this a little bit because I didn't even really want to bring in the offensive numbers because I wanted to focus on what Patrick Williams' bread and butter is supposed to be, and that's supposed to be defense. I don't know what to tell you guys. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe it's he's adapting now to being the team's most versatile defender, which used to go to Alex Caruso, which used to go to Lonzo Ball. Oh, and for somebody asked, what's the stat on creation? His creation as far as creating shots, it's valued at a 2. He's in the bottom 42nd percentile in the NBA as far as creation. A 2. That's what it's rated at. A 2. His passer rating is listed as 3.3. You know what that puts him at? The bottom 36% in the league. Just for fairness. I'm telling y'all, again, I know analytics are not everything. It is what it is, right? Analytics aren't the end all be all. Sometimes the eye test is more important than what the analytics are going to tell you. Because some people are going to tell me, hey, you're a basketball nerd. Analytics aren't everything. Cool. I'm not even finna argue with y'all on that. But then I say this. My response to that is, show me a stat. Show me a consistent. What is passive P doing? What is he doing? Man. But here's the thing though, Winton, and I don't know if you're just coming in though, Winton. This is why I focus on defense. We're not even focused on how he's used offensively. Go back and rewind a little bit. I went over his defensive stats. That's what I focused on here. Defense. Just to recap this for Winton, who may just be joining, right? Opposing players are shooting the ball in one-on-one situations against Patrick Williams. This is not when he's one of the help defenders. It's not when he randomly gets switched on somebody and they shoot the ball before he can really set into defense. This is when set defense one-on-one. Overall, players are shooting 55.4% on Patrick Williams overall. On three-pointers, 43.9%. On two-pointers, 62.3%. Within 6 feet, 72.6%. Less than 10 feet, 66.7%. Greater than 15%, greater than 15 feet, 44.4%. That's his individual defensive numbers. This is just P. Will's defense. Now, of course, in that, you can take what you want to take out of that. But this is damning. P. Will has no trade value at the moment, unfortunately. Bulls can't trade him because we will inevitably want more than anyone will ever think to offer. It's impossible to. Yeah, Patrick Williams is not tradable right now. The best hope for Patrick Williams is that he continues to grow defensively and he gets back to what he was at one point defensively. Because again, I'm not even looking at the offense for Patrick Williams. He's a fifth option on offense. It is what it is. This rant, this conversation is basically taking offense, balling it up, and throwing it away. These numbers are concerning. I'm just here to present the numbers. You guys can tell me how you feel about it. But at least from my standpoint with it right now, it's hard to find anything positive in this. It's really, really concerning. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Again, you guys can let me know how you feel about it. Maybe I'm off my rocker. Y'all know I'm a little bit crazy. And it is what it is. But as it stands right now, it's really concerning that, and like I've said many times before, I'm taking the fact that P. Will was was drafted 4th overall. We're gonna take that. We're gonna ball it up. I don't care about that anymore. He's been in the league now 5 years. It is what it is. He didn't choose to be drafted 4th overall. But it's a little bit concerning. This is the place that we are with a player that's 23 years old. I don't know what else to say other than that. I don't know what it's to say other than that. But you guys can be the judge. You guys can tell me how you feel. Maybe I'm tripping. I've tripped before. And maybe I can be proven wrong. Maybe I can be, maybe P. Will really take his game to another level. Because listen, like I've said before, I do not root against somebody that's on my team. I don't want to be right about P. Will not working out. I can tell you that right now. There will be nothing more than I would love to do than to come back out with a video in 2 months, in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year, and go back and look at this video and say, hey, Haize, you were overreacting. Look at what P. Will has done. I would love to be able to come out with that video. I want nothing more than I want to be able to come here and say, Patrick Williams is great. Julian Phillips is great. Modest Bucilis is great. Dalen Terry's great. Hell, as much as I clown him, I would love nothing more to be able to come here and do a video and say the bald-headed hoe himself, Javon Carter, has turned his career around and he's balling for the Chicago Bulls. I would love to be able to say that. I think it's his listen, and I agree with you. Listen, I 110% agree with you. Because in the few games that we see when Patrick Williams shows some emotion, Antoine, it's different. It's really different. They took a chance and it didn't pan out. It happens. Facts are that there are several guys outside of the top 10 of that draft class that have been way better so far. Facts. 100% facts, right? Objective. That's what I'm here to push. Not a narrative. I'm not here to push a certain outcome. I'm here to give the facts. That's it. BKR, you're not tripping. You're right. Patrick has not grown into a consistent NBA player. He stayed in the same world he's always been in, drafted too high based on potential. And that is where potential can get you caught up. It can really get you caught up. So we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, overall, I really do hope that Patrick Williams at some point proves everything that I said in this video wrong. And I hope that we look back on it and we say, hey, Haize, you remember that video you did? Maybe that video put something out in the universe that woke up Patrick Williams. Because I tell you, and I still got faith, if Patrick Williams ever unlocks that dog mentality, he has all the physical tools to be a really good NBA player. But at some point, another phrase that I say all the time, potential is not always realized. And potential has got a lot of people fired. Potential has got a lot of people drafted, but they end up playing in China. Potential has failed a lot of NBA players and prospects. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I love you guys. Thank you for the support, even through a random nighttime. I was going to wait to do this tomorrow on the daily, but I'm not going to lie to you. I was so concerned by these numbers that I literally was like, I got to talk to somebody about this. And who better than y'all? Who better than y'all, man? Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, man. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Like I like to end everything on, man. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.